Hey, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Shao here from Elevate Performance blog, where we got the car up on jack stands today. So today I'm thinking that we're going to make a front diffuser for the Track EVO. As you can see, underneath I have nothing. So we're going to work a bit on the Aero today. So pretty much this car never came with a front under tray underneath the front bar, so I reckon we build a diffuser so the air can travel straight and not go straight up here. So pretty much we're going to start planning out what we're going to do. I think this is going to involve a lot of measuring and cutting and rights and wrongs. So I watched a couple of videos on YouTube. Yeah, the thing about that is there is no videos on EVO 8s. So with the ones on YouTube, they got plenty of space. So they don't have the intercooler. You know, I've got my oil cooler down there. So this is going to be a little bit tricky because I'm limited on space here. So pretty much the way I'm going to go is like that or like that. So number one is like that, if I'm going to go all the way to the back of this subframe, or number two is if I'm just going to do an arch like that and keep away from the subframe, because I do have my exhaust running down here and my screamer pipe here too. Alright, so first off we're just going to take off the front bar, see what we're dealing with behind the front bar, see if we can get a rough idea of the brackets that we have to make. Alright, front bar's off. As you can see, there's not a lot of space here. Right, so I kind of want to use existing bolts that have already been done. So I've got this guy here. I've got a couple of bolt holes underneath here on the actual chassis. So I've got these two over here that I might use, and then I've got this guy up here that I might use, and I also got these two over here. Alright. Right, under the car, like I told you, we've got the exhaust coming over here, so pretty much the diffuser is going to come pretty close to it. I've got my screamer pipe up here, and I've also got this bracing here that we can use as a mounting point. Alright, so I've also got this subframe brace here, which I can probably mount here and on the other side. That's a potential mounting point too, if I do decide to go all the way from the front to the back of the subframe here. But if I do stop, if I do the half arch and I'll just stop around about here, I have this brace here which I can probably mount to, just drill a hole and put a bolt through. Right, so I decided to go with 9mm marine grade plywood. So this thing has been made to absorb water, I believe. We do have to coat it and seal it. Alright, so I think I'm going to go with option 2, just because my exhaust runs all the way at the back here, and yeah, I think it might just be a little bit too hot if I enclose this area here. It's just the way that my exhaust is designed. I'll show you quickly. So yeah, there's my exhaust there, and like I said, if I put a piece of ply here, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the exhaust, so yeah, not too sure how it's going to be when I go full throttle on the racetrack. It might get a little bit hot, so I think I'm just gonna just end it around about here, just as my sump starts. So, and then I'll just do a little cutout where the screamer pipe is. I reckon that's the best option. At least we got a little bit of protection here. Alright, so I've just loosened this all cooler here, just because we've got a couple of these existing bolts here that we can potentially use. This one, a couple of these ones here, that guy. You know, we're just having a look around, checking our options. Also, we're gonna have to make new holes. So I've got this aluminium bracket that I had lying around. So it's pretty much just gonna go like that, straight down, and I'm gonna do a little L piece on the piece of wood, just to give it a little bit of support. I'll do an L piece coming this way, so that should hold with the downforce that we're going to be making. I don't think I can use these guys because, yeah, I can't put anything in between that. That's just gonna be too far out from the chassis, so that's gonna put a lot of stress. If I put something between this bracket, that's gonna put a lot of stress on these pipes. So my only option now is to make new holes. So I'm probably gonna do one here and here. So I'm gonna make new holes like that, put a nut rivet in so it holds, and then, yeah, that's all I can think of. Just put one here, may potentially go another one over here if this permits, but yeah, I reckon one should be enough. Straight down. So I've got two holes at the front here. I might find a thinner piece of aluminium that I could potentially go underneath like this, and just do another L piece. Alright, seems to be working pretty good. Seems to be getting a couple of good ideas on where we're going to mount these brackets. So I've got a couple of holes on the left side, so these are already done, so I might just do it like that, straight down. And I might get rid of this bracket here, don't know what that's for, and then I might use that and do it like that. I might use that hole, or I might use this hole once this bracket goes, and I'll bring it down like that, and yeah, it should be pretty sweet. And then we got these two holes here. You know, I'll just get a thinner bracket, and then we can just, yeah, make another brace and then do another L. Alright, so this is the plan. 2 L brackets on the existing chassis bolts, and then these two here on the right we got to drill out. We got to drill new ones of those. This side's pretty good. And then we got the front radiator support, and they got 2 existing holes. So now we just gotta work out the measurements. Alright, so here's my existing front EVO 8 bumper that has seen some better days. I've got a carbon fiber front lip on here, but the issue that I have, if I decide to put the wood underneath this front lip, is that I've got this massive gap down here. It's just the way that the front lip is designed. So I've got this gap here, which leaves about around about a 3mm gap between the front lip and the splitter. So I saw on YouTube that people use garden edging to make this flat, and it will sit flush with the front lip. So I think this carbon fiber lip has to go. Unfortunately, I like it, but yeah, I think it's got to go. Right, I've just taken off the front lip and look at the state of it. Absolutely trashed. So if I bolt a front split onto this, yeah, the downforce is just gonna keep making these cracks bigger. So luckily I took it off. Right, so front lip is off.
the front bar. So I think the next step we're going to do is get the plywood, lay it flat on this table here, trace how far we want the front diffuser to stick out, put the front bar back on the car, cut the tracing of the front bar and position it underneath the car so we can make the brackets. Alright, so we're gonna do the outline for the front diffuser. So pretty much I've just got a box which I think is the correct distance that I want the front diffuser to be away from the OEM front bar. So it's roughly around about 9-10 centimeters, so I reckon that's plenty. And pretty much we're just gonna attach a marker onto the box, and then we're just gonna go like this and lean it up against the front bar and let the marker do its thing. So we don't want it too far out from the front bar because we're not doing anything crazy. We're just trying to fill in this gap here where the underneath the radiator support.
Right, so you just pretty much get your marker like that, and then you just let it trace over. Get your marker again and just let it trace over. Right, so I've traced it. That's how far it's going to stick out from the front bar, which I think is sort of okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out just so that it touches the subframe, and if I don't like it, then I'll do the arch slab. Alright guys, so I've just cut the plywood into shape, a little bit harder than I thought. It was moving around a lot. You really need two people to get a good clean cut. So I've just sanded this down so I don't get any splinters on the edges. So right now we just need to slide this underneath so we can mark out the gap, so we can mark out where the wheel goes, and then we'll cut straight down to the subframe. We'll see how it looks. If I don't like it, then I'll just go straight across, and then we'll just have it right underneath the front bar instead of going to the back of the subframe. Right, so that's how it sits. So all we need to do now is I want to mark the gap. So because I want to cut over here, so I want to do it straight and straight down. We're going to the back of the subframe. Just took the front bar off again. So I just realized that we need to make the front air dam so we can see how high the diffuser sits from the front bar and off the ground. So we're going to make this bit first. So I've got a bit of garden edging there. I'll measure it, I'll sit it across, and then I'll drill holes, put a bit of a spacer so it sits flush with the original front bar. Alright, so I've cut the garden edging here for the front air dam. Starting to look pretty good. So I just need a bit of tape just to hold it on there because I'm going to be drilling holes. As you can see, I've done one. I've got to fill in this gap here
or else it's not going to sit flush. It's going to be a little bit dipped down. So we kind of want the air to flow upwards, I guess, instead of getting caught on this lip here. So if I didn't have these bolts here, this would sit right in, and then the air will just be hitting this little lip here, and it won't be going up. So yeah, I've just put 2 nuts here, and then it fills it up real nice. This is sitting flush, so I've got to put 2 nuts all on the inside here just to fill in that gap, and then it'll sit flush. Alright guys, so I've managed to bolt them all up, the front air dam to the bottom of the front bar. As you can see, I used 2 nuts just to make a spacer and to lock them in. So I won't tighten them up now, they're just finger tight. So it fills in the gap nicely. I'm gonna have to trim this section off, trim that section off. It's a little bit fiddly, but that is the front air dam on, and it is looking good. So I'm using these bolts because that's all I got at the moment. After in a couple of weeks I'll change them to rounded flush ones, but yeah, that's all I got for now that they'll do. So it's sitting nice and flush. I'm gonna fill these gaps up with a bit of sealer, but yeah, that's all the best we can do now. Alright guys, so I've marked out where I'm going to cut for the wheel. So that's where it sits. I've got to trim a little bit of the edging here off. So I've done the same to the other side. So I've just marked it where I want to cut it, and then all the way back to the subframe. So we're going to take the diffuser back out now, and then throw it on the table, and then we'll start cutting it. Alright guys, so the front bar is back on. This job requires just so much patience. You're always cutting and measuring and taking it off. So I'm just taking my time with it because I sort of want to do it really good. I want it to be functional, not just for looks, you know. So I've managed to just cut this to clear my 18 by 9.5 inch wheels. I bolted it to the back of the subframe here. So this is pretty much how it's going to sit. So I've cut this side to clear my wheels. So the only thing left now is to take the front bar off so we can make the brackets to hold it up. So I got these rods. I'm pretty sure they perform the same. I got these from Bunnings. So I'm just gonna pretty much hook it here and hook it down here, somewhere like that, just to stop it from moving up and down. So I reckon that's gonna work pretty good. I reckon it's the same thing as you buy online. So I just got it from Bunnings. They're only cheap, like $6 or something like that. So I might put one here, and then on the other side, if we need one here, then we'll just throw one here. So we're just gonna go ahead now, take the front bar off, and then we see how we can make our brackets. Right, so the front bar's off, and we can get a pretty good look at what we're dealing with here. I've got these pieces of aluminium that we can use as a just to get a rough idea of what we're gonna do. So I sort of wanna, like I told you, I wanna bolt it here, and then I run a leg all the way down, and then once we get that going, then we can sort of work our way. Like we'll put one across here like this, obviously cut it here, and then I'll be able to run another one over here like this, and then I'll be able to brace this side, and then obviously this will get hooked back up. As you can see, day 2 got a bit dark last night, so I just spent the last remaining part of the day just taking measurements because it was getting too dark to work. So here's a quick diagram of what I did the measurements on and how I sort of want things to go. So I've got 2 pieces of aluminium here. So they're about 3 meters long. So I've got aluminium square tube here, and I've got a angled piece of aluminium here. So I'm gonna go ahead now, cut these up to the measurements that I wrote down, and we'll try and sort of fit it onto the car and then see if we can make adjustments. I'm cutting up a bit of the aluminium here. I didn't record it because it was a little bit boring. It took a bit of time, but yeah, this is pretty much how I sort of want it to be. So this little piece here now is sort of bracing that middle. I'm going to put nut rivets in here so I can take on and off the front diffuser easy if I need to. So this thick piece of aluminium here is going to be bracing this middle piece here, which I guess is going to get the most downforce. And this is going to be bolted up over there. So I might do another piece here, a flat piece of aluminium coming down, and it might bolt up to here too. So we've pretty much cut everything that we needed. So this bracket here is going to support the edges, and I've got a little bracket there. So it looks like it's going to do the job. So I've got this bracket here coming down. This is the 2 main support brackets, and then I've got these guys here that come across. I'm going to use this radio support here. So there's 2 existing threads here, so I'm going to use those. I'm going to put 2 bolts in them and then just bolt it up to here. So same on the other side. So this whole section here is going to get nut riveted, and it's going to be super solid, so there'll be no flex there. And once again, I'm using these guard bolts here, bringing it down, bracket, and I'm going to drill holes over here, and then that should be pretty solid. So I think the hardest part about this project is just cutting and measuring, making sure the brackets are all good, because we sort of want this functioning too. So this is going to get a lot of pressure coming up and down, so we sort of want to reinforce that. This isn't just for looks, we sort of want it to work. So most of the time that I've taken is just measuring and cutting, putting it on, making sure that it fits. But I reckon this is the go. Right, so we're just gonna mark all the brackets with dots where we're gonna drill, and then we'll start putting nut rivets into the chassis here. So I'm gonna put 2 there, 2 on the other side, and then I'm gonna slowly build the frame up. So I'll start with this one leg first as a foundation, and then I'll connect this onto the chassis, and then I'll work my way around. Alright guys, so pretty much nut riveted, I drilled and nut riveted this bracket onto the chassis, and that is super tight, that's not going anywhere. So I've drilled that section here. So we're moving across over here. So I've got to put a bolt over here for this bracket that comes across. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to take off the intercooler because I want to drill. I've got to drill straight down here, across here, and I'm going to put some nut rivets on this bracket so I can bolt it up from underneath here. So yeah, so I can just get the drill going straight down. I reckon that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this off. Okay, sorry, there's just been a little bit of inconsistency here. There's just a whole lot of mucking around. I've taken off the front mount, as you can see, so I can drill just straight down here. I'm gonna put a couple of nut rivets on this bar here, and then I'll be able to bolt it up from underneath. So now I've got plenty of space and I can properly do it. And it also gives me space to do these too, because the intercooler pipe's out of the way, so I can figure out this bracket here. So we've bolted all these up. These are all done. These are all done here. So these are bolted up to the actual chassis now. So this comes down to there. I've done it on the other side too. So this is bolted down here, and then this is bolted here now. As you can see, it's fully solid. Like, I took the intercooler off because now we're gonna put these little nut rivets in. So these two are gonna go over here. I'm gonna put one here. I'm gonna put one here, and all along here, so that we can just pretty much undo it from underneath, and just undo that back subframe bolts over there, and we'll be able to take the diffuser out whenever we want to do work underneath the car. All this bracing here will stay. Alright, so we just drilled our holes into all our brackets, pretty much almost there. This is our nut rivet here, so I'm going to be putting these in there like that, but from underneath, so we can take the diffuser in and out. And whenever we want to service the car, we'll just take the diffuser out, and all the brackets will stay, and they'll hopefully line up. Right, so this is with the diffuser off. So that's pretty much what's going to happen when I take on and off the diffuser. This brace is going to stay there. I just got to undo the bolts from underneath. And this is the diffuser. I've still got to cut a section out for my screamer pipe here and my exhaust too. It's running a little bit close, so I might cut that, have a little cut out there. So I'll pop on the bar and we'll see how it looks. Right, so here's what it looks like with the front bar. Obviously I'm missing my front mount intercooler here, but yeah, that's pretty much the bracing underneath. That's what it looks like. It's pretty sturdy, so you sort of have to take your time and patience with this project. Obviously, if you get it working really good, it's going to be generating a lot of downforce, so you kind of want it to be working. You don't want the massive piece of wood to be flying underneath your car going down the main street at 200 kilometers an hour, you know what I mean? Alright, so I got my nut rivets here. I'm going to go from underneath, just pop them in there like that. In between what I do, I'm just giving you quick updates because it's pretty much just, again, on and off, measuring, cutting. So I've put the rivet nuts in, as you can see. So pretty much this is pretty solid now. I'm pushing that down, and this is so freaking solid now. It ain't going nowhere. I'm really happy with this. Lucky I took my time, made a really good bracket, and this is so sturdy now. So whenever I want to do an oil change or something like that, I'll just take these bolts off, all these bolts, and in the back, and then this will just come off. The front bar will stay on, and the bracing will stay on. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way this came out. So one last bracket to make, or two. We've got to make these side supports over here. So we just got to bolt it up to this existing guard bolt straight down. I might put two small nut rivets on this side, and then this will hold the edges, and I'll do the same to the other side. We just finished the side brackets. So I just put a nut rivet, a bracket, I bolted up to the existing guard bolt. So this thing is so solid. I'm pushing down on that, it's not even moving. So this thing is looking really, really good now. I've done the same to this side. So next I want to kind of reinforce this air dam that we got going on here. So I might put a couple of brackets like this. I've got about 10 of these, so I might pop rivet them like that, just to stop the air dam from moving back and forth. So we got about 10 of these going across like that. So I reckon I'm gonna rivet these down. Okay, so we just riveted on these brackets just to give that air dam a little bit more bracing if it does decide to go back. So I guess all that's left now is just to put the front bar on, make sure everything's okay, and then we'll go ahead and put the intercooler back. Alright guys, another day, just slowly chipping away at this because I want it to be perfect like I said. Just got to put the intercooler back on now, bolt it all up to all the clamps tight, put the diffuser back on, front bar back on. I might sand down the diffuser and give it a nice seal, and then paint it black. Alright, so intercooler's all on, bolts are all tight, clamps are all good. So the only thing left is to put the front bar on, the diffuser back on. Right, so I'm probably only going to need about 10 centimeters because there'll be a little bit of a L hose here going up, so not that much sticking out. 10, and I also want to fill in these gaps here. So as you can see, I've got a bit of a gap here between the front bar and the intercooler, and I've got a bit of a gap here and a gap here. So I'm gonna start tracing with a bit of paper and do a bit of a cutout, see how I'm gonna secure it. Might just drill into the front bar, a couple of screws. Same this side. I've got my license plate bracket here too. So yeah, let's get going. Alright, so this is the quick cutout of the way that I'm going to do my intercooler ducting here. So I just got cardboard, just did a quick cutout, a couple of measurements here. So pretty much it's going to sit like that with the aluminium piece that I have. So hopefully it just directs the air straight in here, it doesn't go through these gaps here. It's a bit more aero for the car. Alright guys, so I'll just show you my air intercooler guide that I just made. So just used the aluminium, pretty sturdy. I made a brace at the back here, I'll show you. Here's what it looks like from the back. So I just used the existing the bolts for this grill support here. Underneath I made a aluminium brace from the existing brackets here. So that's nice and sturdy now. I'll go ahead and I'll throw it on the car and then we'll see how it looks. Alright, so this is it mounted to the car. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. I filled in the gap here where it was, and I've also filled these little end plates here, filled them up. So there's not much gap over here, so I reckon it looks pretty good. Pretty fiddly job. yeah, just a lot of measuring, cutting. Pretty much this whole project is. So, but yeah, patience is the game. It's turned out pretty good. They just slowly chipping away at this thing. Sort of want it to be functional. So this is marine grade plywood. So I'm gonna seal it now. So I've got sandpaper here, 180 grit. I've got Mefo and I've got a rag just to wipe down the dust. So we're just gonna give it a sand over, and then we're gonna go get some epoxy sealer, and we seal it up so no water gets in it, and this thing lasts hopefully for about a year or two. Alright, so we sanded it down, just gonna get all the dust off it. So I got a bit of Mefo, a bit of a rag, and we're just gonna wipe it down. Get rid of all the funny little fine particles and the grease that could have been on there. We're just gonna let that dry. Pretty sunny day, so just gonna let that dry. It shouldn't take too long. It's coming up, like that section's already dry, so we'll just give it about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll hit it with the epoxy. Right, so the wood's pretty much dry from that detergent. So I've got a bit of this exterior marine varnish sealer. So I guess we're just gonna, it says it takes around about 3 to 4 hours to actually touch dry, so just gonna put a little bit on. So this is the side that's going to get the weather elements the most, the underside. So I'm only going to do 1 coat. I'm not going to bother doing 3 or 4 coats. Here's what it is. Something's better than nothing, but yeah, I just don't have the time to do 3 or 4 coats today. Yes, as you saw in the video, guys, it was a little bit of mucking around, a lot of cutting and trolling and fitting and all that stuff. So, but it's turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So this is pretty sturdy, heap strong. Pushing down on that, that's not even moving. I'm pretty happy with the way it all turned out. Yeah, but it is all on that. It is looking all Mickey Mouse. I love the look. It's so tough. So we'll just have a quick look underneath now. So it should work. The idea is for the air to go straight instead of up into the engine bay. So I know it's a pretty long video, so thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, so I can't wait to take this thing out onto the racetrack now. So not long to go, a couple of weeks, and then we're gonna hit the racetrack, see how this thing goes again. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, tell all your mates, and I'll see you guys in the next video.